Welcome to the 6-Minute English Podcast, your quick, no fluff guide to improving your English in just minutes a day. Subscribe now and make English a part of your daily life.
Have you ever wondered about the secret lives of bees? Not just buzzing around flowers, but what they really get up to inside their hives. Today we're going to explore a story all about that, a story set in a small, peaceful orchard, filled with the sweet scent of ripe apples.
An orchard is like a big garden of fruit trees, you know? And imagine this orchard, bathed in the warm glow of the summer sun, rows and rows of apple trees heavy with fruit, a perfect place for bees to thrive.
Exactly. And in the heart of this orchard, nestled amongst the trees, stood an old, weathered beehive. It looked ordinary enough from the outside, a simple wooden box, but inside was a whole other world.
It's like a bustling city within those wooden walls, isn't it? Thousands of bees, each with their own job to do, working together in perfect harmony. It's fascinating to think about.
It truly is. Our story focuses on one particular bee, a young worker bee named Beatrice. She was smaller than the others and a bit clumsy, always bumping into things, but she had a heart full of curiosity and a spirit ready for adventure.
Beatrice, what a sweet name. I'm already picturing her, buzzing around, eager to learn all about the world outside the hive. Clumsy means she's a little awkward in her movements, right? Like when you trip over your own feet.
Yes, precisely. She was always tripping over other bees or dropping the pollen she'd collected. But Beatrice dreamt of something more than just collecting pollen. She longed to discover the secrets of the orchard, the world beyond the hive's entrance.
I think a lot of people can relate to Beatrice, wanting something more, dreaming of adventure. I wonder what she will discover in the orchard. This longing, this deep desire she feels, is what sets her apart. It fuels her curiosity.
So, Beatrice the bee, she wasn't like the other bees. They were all buzzing about, collecting nectar, making honey. But Beatrice, she was a dreamer. She longed for adventure, for something more than the hive. Monotonous, she'd mutter, meaning boring and repetitive. This honey making is so monotonous.
She'd gaze out at the world beyond the hive, at the colorful flowers swaying in the breeze, the sparkling river flowing by. She wanted to explore, to see what lay beyond the familiar fields of clover. She was curious, you see, eager to learn and discover new things. A real adventurous spirit.
One sunny morning, Beatrice decided she'd had enough. I can't take this monotony anymore, she declared. I'm going on an adventure. And with that, she zipped out of the hive, her tiny wings beating with excitement and determination.
The other bees buzzed with concern. Beatrice, come back, they cried. It's dangerous out there. But Beatrice was already a speck in the distance, heading towards a vibrant patch of wildflowers she'd never seen before. She was determined to break free from the ordinary.
She flew and flew, further than she'd ever flown before. The world was a kaleidoscope of colors and scents. She saw butterflies with wings like stained glass, ladybugs with shiny red shells. Everything was so new and fascinating. Kaleidoscope means a constantly changing pattern of bright colors. Like a beautiful, moving mosaic.
Beatrice landed on a bright red poppy, its petals soft as velvet. She sipped the sweet nectar, feeling a thrill of excitement. This was so much more exhilarating than the usual clover. Exhilarating, that means exciting and invigorating, making you feel happy and alive. It's a great word to describe how Beatrice felt.
She buzzed happily to herself, her little bee heart filled with joy. This was the life she'd always dreamed of. Free, independent, exploring the world at her own pace. She felt a sense of liberation, like she had finally broken free.
But as the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the meadow, a little shiver of fear ran down Beatrice's back. She was a long way from home, and the world suddenly seemed much bigger, and a little bit scary. The excitement started to wear off, you know?
So, to recap, our story, The Secret Life of Bees, is about a young girl named Lily. She runs away from her abusive father and finds a new home with 3 beekeeping sisters.
Exactly. She's been living a pretty tough life, hasn't she? Abusive means her father treats her badly, maybe even hurts her. And these sisters, August, June, and May, are quite unique.
They are. They welcome Lily and her caregiver, Rosaline, into their vibrant, pink house. Vibrant means bright and full of life, just like their personalities and their honey business.
Remember, Rosaline was also treated very poorly because of the color of her skin. This story takes place in the American South in the 1960s, when racial segregation and prejudice were a harsh reality.
It's a difficult time, but Lily finds comfort and acceptance in this new community centered around the bees. She starts to learn about beekeeping and, more importantly, about herself.
Yes, the bees become a symbol of hope and healing for Lily. She starts to understand the complex society of the hive, how they work together, and how they produce honey. It's like a metaphor for life itself.
A metaphor is a figure of speech. It's a way of saying something is like something else to explain it better. In this case, the bee society reflects the human society, and especially Lily's own journey of finding her place.
And through her work with the bees and her growing relationships with the sisters, Lily begins to uncover secrets about her own mother, who she thought she'd lost.
It's a story of self-discovery, forgiveness, and finding a sense of belonging. It also touches on themes of racism and social injustice, making it a powerful and moving story.
Absolutely. It's not just a sweet story about bees and honey, it deals with some pretty complex issues and teaches us about resilience, which is the ability to bounce back after difficult times.
Remember how Beatrice discovered the hidden meadow filled with wildflowers? Well, that meadow held a secret, thousands of bees buzzing around their hives. Buzzing, that's a good word to describe the sound bees make, a low humming sound. Beatrice was initially scared, she had a fear of being stung.
Yes, and initially means at first, or in the beginning. So, at first, she was afraid. But her curiosity, her strong desire to know and learn, was even stronger than her fear. She crept closer, slowly and carefully, trying not to disturb the bees.
That's a great point. To creep means to move slowly and quietly, usually because you don't want to be noticed. Like a cat creeping up on a mouse.
Exactly. Now, as Beatrice watched the bees, she noticed they weren't aggressive. They weren't trying to sting anyone. They were just busy, flying from flower to flower, collecting nectar. Nectar is the sweet liquid that flowers produce, which bees use to make honey.
And aggressive means ready or likely to attack. The opposite of aggressive would be something like peaceful or calm. The bees were anything but aggressive, they were focused on their work.
Precisely. She saw how they moved with such purpose, flitting, that means flying quickly and lightly between the blossoms. It was then she realized the meadow wasn't just a field of flowers, it was a whole society of bees working together.
Another good word there, blossom. A blossom is a flower, especially one that is about to open or has just opened. It's a lovely word, isn't it? Almost as lovely as the flowers themselves.
It really is. And as Beatrice continued to observe, she started to understand the interconnectedness of everything in the meadow.
Interconnectedness. That's a big word but a very useful one. It means how everything is linked together, how everything depends on everything else. The flowers need the bees to spread their pollen, and the bees need the flowers for their nectar.
Exactly. It's a beautiful example of how nature works in harmony. And Beatrice, she began to see the beauty in it too. She even started to keep a journal about her observations. That initial fear had completely transformed into fascination.
Okay, so let's quickly recap the story of The Secret Life of Bees, shall we? Lily, our main character, runs away from her abusive father with her kind housekeeper, Rosaline.
They escape to Tiburon, South Carolina, a town Rosaline remembers from a honey jar label. Tiburon, it's Spanish for shark, by the way. A little extra vocabulary for you.
Good point. In Tiburon, they find the Botryte sisters, August, June, and May, who are, you guessed it, beekeepers. They live in a vibrant pink house and welcome Lily and Rosaline into their lives and their honey business.
Living with the Botryte sisters, Lily learns all about beekeeping, honey making, and also about life, love, and loss. She finally finds the mother figure she's always longed for in August, who is wise and nurturing.
Remember how Lily was obsessed with the image of her mother she kept in a small wooden box? She discovers a connection between her mother and the Botryte sisters, uncovering a hidden past and finally understanding her mother's story.
It's a story of self-discovery and healing. Lily confronts the truth about her mother's death and begins to forgive herself and her father. She learns the importance of community and the power of female friendships.
The beekeeping metaphor runs throughout the story. Bees, with their complex social structure and dedication to their queen, symbolize the strong bonds between the women. They represent family, loyalty, and the importance of working together.
And remember the wailing wall, where May processes her grief and sadness? It's a powerful image of how we all cope with loss in our own ways. It also symbolizes the shared burdens and the support we can find in a community.
Exactly. Through the bees and the Boothright sisters, Lily finds her own hive, a place where she belongs and can finally heal. It's a beautiful story about finding your place in the world.
It also highlights the racial tensions of the American South in the 1960s, with Rosaline's struggles and the kindness shown by the Boothright sisters challenging the prejudiced norms of the time. So, it's not just about bees and honey, it's about important social issues, too.
Right. So, that's The Secret Life of Bees, in a nutshell. A story about finding family, healing from the past, and the sweet power of connection. It's definitely a story worth reading or listening to, again and again. Thanks for listening to English Boost. Remember, practice a little every day and you'll see big results. See you in the next episode.